Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. It's been a hot minute. Um, I want to start off with the Gabby and Wendy scene because I actually enjoyed this scene. I enjoyed this scene because in the beginning, Gabby, for a while, Gabby has gotten on my nerves with her anger towards Wendy. Now I understand that, Wendy betrayed her and she treated her like she was a little sister and everything like that. And Wendy was just going to let Gabby go through with that marriage knowing what Shin was doing. So I understand her anger. Okay, I get it. But the thing is, if the roles were reversed, and given how much she loves her brother, and I haven't even watched it that long, and I know that she would do anything for Rafe. Knowing that, it's like if you're in that position, you would have did the exact same thing. I understand that she's angry with her, but you would have did the exact same thing. So, why don't you sit there and cut her some slack? And eventually she did. Wendy had some flowers and stuff like that, and she finally just dropped it. It was like, come in, and she started talking about her issues with Stefan, and how Stefan just really can't stand her, especially the whole um issue when Stefan really got disgusted with her for her wanting to take Stefan to go see Marlena, who was dying. Okay, I want to emphasize that. Okay, she was literally on her deathbed. And she was like, oh, well, can we just sit there and see her? Is this where we can get the programming undone? I'm like, are you kidding me? But all she thought about was getting back her true love. That were her. She was going to die anyway. Who cares? That's literally how she thought. That is Gabby. Um, so they're talking about it, and at first, Wendy was like, "You should try an intervention. Get him committed or whatever. Try something." She was like, I don't really know. And it seemed like she just kind of gave up. Now Wendy was like, the Gabby I know who I've been known for a little bit wouldn't just give up. Right then and there, it's like it awoken her dark impulses. Of course, at the end, if you watch the previews, if you read anything online, she does, knock out Stefan to sit there and, force him to get this procedure done. Or something. I have no idea what she's doing, but at this point, people will sit there and call it, oh, she's brave and she's determined. And other people like me would sit there and say, okay, this chick is officially desperate. And I sat there when she did that. I was like, you could have killed him, right? I mean, this dude was dead. He's back alive. What if you hit him too hard? What would have wound up happening then? Now, EJ pretty much came to Shin's room to give him his walking papers. And at first Shin was like, oh, well, you can't do that because then I'll sit there and tell. And EJ was like, yeah, Steph already knows. And although he's not happy, he pretty much kind of respects the hustle, okay? He respects where I'm coming from. And Shin was like, wait, I don't understand. Why is he not upset? I was like, wait, that's that's your plan to sit there and just, your plan was sit there and rely on blackmail. That failed, and you look pathetic. So what's next? Oh, I'm going to use the daddy card. My daddy is the chamber of the board or whatever, and he's not going to sit there and let me be fired. He won't stand for that. EJ was like, yo, listen, if I have to, we'll call a share board. I'll sit there and call a sheriff meeting or whatever to vote you out, and it shouldn't be that difficult to do. So either way, your daddy is not going to help you. Blackmailer is going to help you. And towards the end, he was like, you know what? You'll learn never to sit there and mess with the demerit. And walked out. And I'm just like, see, reasons like that. It's reasons like that. That's why EJ is my favorite character. It's reasons like that. He just came in and he was like, "Yo, listen, you got to go. You got to get your walking papers," and he pretty much just kind of metaphorically handed him his ass, and then just walked out. It's a great scene. Loved it. Um, Now Sloane and Eric were sitting there hanging out for a little bit, and Eric has just been using Sloane as a way to deal with his grief. And Sloane is sitting there looking at it like, "Oh, it's the first time somebody ever needed me." And I'm like, "He's not. It's not. He's using you. I mean, granted, you're using him as well. It's just friends with benefits or whatever." When he did sit there and try to talk to her, she did kind of push him away, and she apologized for it because that subject is particularly dark for her. But now she's totally okay with him just using her as a way to sit there and deal with his grief. If he's not going to be doing that, he's going to be sitting there drinking. So it's one or the other at this point. Nicole was sitting there talking to Stefan. She found out that Marlena died, and because in the beginning she walked in there and she was like, "Oh." Because, Stefan is sitting there talking to the painting of Stefano and talking about how he's going to get back at so-and-so, EJ and stuff like that. And she kind of overheard something as far as what demur are you getting back at. And at first, Stefan's like, "Oh, I'm going to get back at Kristen." And, she's like, "Yeah, but she's already in jail. So what more can you do to her?" He wasn't buying it. They get to talking, and Stefan talks about the whole EJ thing. EJ knew about the brainwashing for weeks. He didn't do anything. He didn't tell me or anything like that. And Nicole tried to act like she was surprised, like, "Oh no, really?" And of course, Stefan's like, "Okay, come on, seriously." Like he knew that she knew the whole time. But, Nicole was worried about Eric. Nicole is always trying to find ways and reasons to be in Eric's face, even when they're at odds. They've been arguing and bickering and fighting and stuff like that for a hot minute. But for some odd reason, she's like, "Oh, I'm concerned." I was like, "Then send him a text. Then send him a text, You know that y'all two got problems. Send him a text." But no, of course, she runs right into him and, she offers him condolences or whatever, which, okay, fine, whatever. And then she's like, "Is it okay if I give you a hug?" And I'm like, "What the why are you being so extra with him? Like, can't you just sit there and say what you gotta say and just kind of. But of course, she has to sit there and stick around long enough for Sloane to walk over and Sloane to sit there and say, "Oh, you left your phone in my bed." So of course Nicole sits there and roll her eyes. I'm like, "Nicole, you have quite the history, okay? The fact that you have the audacity to sit there and look down on Sloane for her attitudes and everything like for her actions is to sit there and say you're a hypocrite is putting it lightly. Actually, that's exactly what it's putting it as, a hypocrite. Given her history, well, you got no room to sit there and judge anyone. So, Allie Smith there giving Chanel the silent treatment, and they're sitting down to have breakfast, and finally Chanel's like, "All right, listen, we gotta sit there and talk." Here's the thing with Chanel. She tries to use every excuse in the book except for being honest. "Oh, I was just there to sit there and comfort him. I was just here to sit there comforting Johnny." And she goes to this long, drawn out story about, her journey to the hospital, trying to find Allie and, you know, um, running into Johnny. And I'm just like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And Allie's like, you, you literally, I caught y'all embracing and stopping like I was up to something. So, are you attracted to him? Do you still have feelings for Johnny? Now, I'm sitting there looking at this, watching this story so far. Watching this story so far, I'm like, and I said this in a live stream, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually defending Allie. I've been watching my reviews for a while. You know how much I don't like Allie. I really don't. I mean, it's more than just my content for women that have acted like her in real life, girls that I went to school with, you know. All in all, I don't like her personality. It is just irritating. I mean, not like the worst. Like, I don't roll my eyes every time I see her, but there's just things I just don't like about Allie. But with that being said, throughout this conversation, Allie is 100% right. Okay, Chanel is lying to her pretty much. And then she brings up, oh, are you still attracted to Allie? Alex, you're the one that's asking for another threesome. And I'm like, bro, stop sitting there trying to throw stuff out of left field and just be honest with her. You can't even be bothered to do that. I sat there and I'm like, if you really want to sit there and use that as some sort of excuse, think about this for a minute. Chanel, you got with her when she was in a relationship, a quote unquote so called committed relationship with Trip. And she cheated on Trip with you. So if you have any sort of doubts whatsoever, are you sitting there thinking, oh, are you sitting there trying to get with him? Just remember who you actually decide to go out with. You decide to go out with somebody who not cheated once, but twice on the same person. You knew who you were getting in bed with. Literally. So it's hard to sit there and even have sympathy for her. And now just at that point she had enough. She was like, listen, I gotta get Henry dressed. I gotta sit there and get ready for the memorial and stuff like that. I gotta go, and she just walks off. She's like, I'm not gonna sit there and deal with you because you're not gonna be honest. And oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually sitting there saying this, but I respect that. You can only talk to a person so much before y'all just start going in circles because this person is not being honest. And as much as I call her a dingbat, a ditz, and pretty much every other name in the book, she was smart enough to recognize she was getting nowhere with her. She was lying. She was practically being a brick wall. It gets to a point where talking to somebody just gets exhausting, physically and mentally after a while. So she did the best thing that she could. She walked off. Given the fact that two of her grandmothers died and she got to sit there and deal with this on top of everything else, nah, I don't got time for you, literally. I'm going to protect my mental health. I'm going to walk the other way. That's what she did. And I can't believe I'm sitting there saying this, but I respect that. Well, like I said in my GH review, today has been full of surprises. And this is one of many. Now, oh, Johnny came to apologize to Trip. He was like, listen, I was out of line. I hit you. I called your mom names. And I was picking a fight with you. And I apologize. I'm sorry. And Trip, he respected that. Because the thing is, apologizing and meaning it is two different things. You can apologize like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, you just said that to say that, But it takes a lot to sit there and really apologize and really show empathy about why you're sorry. And given that Trip came back to town to sit there and, go at EJ and go at Trip, he go at Johnny, punched him in the face when he walked in. He was like, what, listen, I've I've been pretty much kind of a dick as well. So, they squashed it, they shook hands and everything like that. And that was about it. And I sat there and I said to myself, I know it sounds bad, and then I really should sit there and say this, but I'm gonna sit there and say it anyway. See, this, you know what? No, screw it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, but I think at this point I shouldn't have to. Screw it. I'm gonna say it anyway. See, so nope, not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it because I know it's gonna come across as kind of sexist, and yeah, I'm just I'm not gonna go there. But I will sit there and say this. I'm glad that they did just squash the beef. They didn't sit there and hold grudges and stare daggers at each other and anything else. They just kind of just took care of it like mature adults and was like, all right, be good, and that's it. Um, Now, Wendy did come by to talk to Trip or whatever, just to kind of catch up and stuff. And, Trip was like, hey, Johnny came over and apologized. And, even though she was kind of mad at the way that he went about it, Trip was like, listen, I can respect it. I came at him foul, he came at me foul. We both kind of just stood there as rational adults and was like, we were both wrong and we're just going to sit there and apologize and move forward. And Wendy was meant to talk about her and Gabby and stuff like that, about how she was going on an apology tour as well, and talking about the whole Stefan thing or whatever. So it just kind of just caught up. Now Johnny did come by Allie's place, or Allie and Chanel's place, and Chanel was like, hey, listen, things are kind of bad right now, and we shouldn't be seen together. Johnny was like, yeah, I came here to see Wendy. She was like, oh, I was like, yeah, no, not everything is, the world doesn't revolve around you. Now Stefan at the end of the episode, because EJ came back and he was like, hey, listen, I just fired Shen, and Stefan's like, all right, cool, let's celebrate, let's really hang out, and just kind of celebrate our victory. So, EJ at first he was like, it's kind of early. And Stefan was like, it's cool, you can have a mimosa if you want to. Like, okay, all right. So he went down to the cellar and, Stefan has some sort of drink or whatever. I guess it was supposed to make him mentally screwed up or whatever. This was his way of getting back at EJ. But of course, Gabby messed up those plans by knocking him unconscious and probably could have wound up killing him if she wasn't too careful. All in all, I would sit there and say, this was a good episode. I've been enjoying it so far. With Days, I've been really enjoying it. I haven't been doing a lot of reviews on it because things just been kind of crazy as far as getting home and just a lot of scheduling stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, I need to sit there and try something for like a week. It has a lot to do with the algorithm and my views on certain videos, and see if they go up or down depending on if I kind of stop doing these reviews for a while. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to sit there and watch it, and I'm still going to sit there and do still going to do live streams. We could sit there and chop it up, but I need to sit there and do this test to kind of see what's going on with my views, particularly in one section of my videos, and I think we know which one that is. Anyway, I can't really think of anything else that happened, but I do want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.